Hello, friends. I'm happy that you will be able to see what I'm sharing here. This is what we usually make, and it's called pasteles. We use the pork. Some people use ground beef, but we are used to eating this with pork. This is a pork shoulder right here. These are my green bananas that were peeled, and I have them in water so they won't turn color. These are some of the ingredients that I'm going to use to make the stew of the meat. We cut this meat in small bite sizes, and then we put it in with all our little veggies, and we saute it, cook it, and that's what we put in the inside of our, I'm gonna call it batter, because it would be a batter of bananas. This here is Achiote. I do show you the bottle so you could see. We call it Achiote. The name in English, I think, is, I'll give you the name in English. I can't remember it right this minute. So we heat it up with some oil, depending on how much oil you're gonna need. It makes the oil like an orange red, and it helps so that your pasteles won't stick to your paper or your leaf, whichever way you're making. This here, I just put a few leaves of culantro, and then I just take them out. I don't use them, I just take them out and discard them. And then I strain the oil so that I could use here in my pot where I'm gonna stir fry the onions, the peppers. I have a half of green and a half of red peppers. The only reason why I added the roasted red peppers is because I had them extra. So I decided to add them in. A lot of people just do this mixture and put the garlic. I put also the garlic, fresh garlic, powdered garlic, onion powder, pepper, sazón, adobo that I've made my own recipe, and then sofrito, which I have my own recipe as well. You could find those on my channel as well. So then I stir fry this. I added a whole can of tomato sauce, which was 8 ounces. Depending on how much meat you're gonna make, you add your veggies to measure out with your meat. So I sauteed them here. I did add some salt and pepper, and after they're sauteed, I added the meat. The meat is being cut into bite-sized pieces so that we could be able to use it as the filling for our banana pastel, which is pasteles in the way we call them. Excuse me. So here I am using my sazón that I made. It doesn't have any red colorings or food coloring at all. It's good for you. I also have a recipe for that. Here's the annatto. That is the achiote. Here's the one that I use. And I have here the piece of pork that we started with, and then the way we broke it down into bite sizes.
And we are going to cook to put
we added to the pot of veggies, and then I added like a cup of water. I also let that sit on the stove on medium heat. I covered it a little bit, and like I said before, you don't need to put, these are the roasted peppers. You don't need to put all this. I put it in because I have it. And I also added garbanzos, which we like, and we also like the olives as well. You could omit it or you could add it, your choice. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll answer as best as I can. The garbanzos also get cooked while in the pot with the meat, so you're going to cover it and put it on low. I would say about 35 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. It depends how thick your meat is or how small it is. And this is where I did my tomato sauce. I did put a whole can, 8-ounce can of tomato sauce because we had a lot of meat going in there. After you have stir-fried it and all, then you add your meat. These are the bananas, are peeled and ready to be shredded. You could shred it with this. These are the utensils.
People use this as a grater for the bananas, and some people use the food processor. I'm going to use my juicer, and it comes out the same way. Let's go ahead and try that. We need a little bit of water so it could cook. Now we're not making soup, so we're not putting a lot of liquid. And it will marry all the flavors. And then I am... Okay. Taste. Yeah, don't be scared to taste your food, because it might need a lot of seasoning before, during, and after. Okay, we're gonna let it cook here for about 30 to 45 minutes. And we'll be back.
This is the banana batter, the masa. Here's the meat.
Going on now. Start. We're just waiting for the meat to be done, and then we're gonna start wrapping our pasteles. This you gotta season to taste, so it could also have some flavor.
Now we take the masa and we put it here on the paper and the leaf with a little bit of that achiote so it won't stick. Here's the masa, and then we put the meat mixture in here and we fold it up. We fold up the back, the front, the ends, and then we tie them together. And then that's the process right before you cook them. We put a pot of boiling water with a little bit of salt, and we cook them for about an hour. And this is the famous pasteles. Now, I'm gonna tell you what, these pasteles turned out so good. It was ridiculous. Like the first ones that you wrap, they usually don't have all the flavors meld yet. Usually you have to wait like a day or two while they get all meld the flavors together. These were outstanding, if I say so myself. I am going to show you. I did wrap just one just to show you how you wrap it and you tie it together. And all this is paper and the string that you use for the kitchen. It's specifically for the pasteles. And then, oh, here I'm back to the pernil, which is the pork. We made the holes in it. Now I'm gonna make the seasoning. That's the sofrito, and I'm adding garlic, onion powder, adobo, sazón again, and I did put in each hole that the pork has a whole garlic so it could bake in there with the meat. It turned out so good. This we had the following day. Now I take this, I stir it up, and it looks like a little paste, but I stir it up and I add it in each hole first of the pork, and then I spread it. As you can see, I mashed those garlic first so that they could open up the flavor. And then I put them in those holes. And now I'm stirring the seasonings all together, and I'm also adding that to the already made holes on the pork. There we go. What I did was, after I seasoned it and all, I put it in a baking bag and put it in the refrigerator and cooked it the next day. I don't usually cook it right away but since it was already out, we had taken it out and used half of it for the pasteles, so I went ahead, seasoned it, and cooked it the next day. And it tastes pretty good. It was good as well. I mean, pork to us is good any time of the year, not only for the holidays. But this is the one that didn't have that thick skin, so I put it in the baking bag, and I didn't need to worry to get the skin all crispy, although it's delicious. But this one didn't have no skin because we bought it so we could use it for the pasteles. And like I said before, where I grew up, we didn't have all the things that we have now. So all the things I've learned how to cook, I've learned how to cook them with whatever we had. And these are the way that I'm showing you guys is the way that I learned how to cook these. Here are the pasteles after they boiled for an hour. Look how pretty they look. They even taste prettier. But they came out so smooth and with a good color in such a short time. And people out there that know, that make pasteles know that the ones that we wrap up and stay longer in the fridge or freezer taste better. But these were a home run. They were delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious.
This is a home run. Let me get some rice. Just a little bit. Oh my goodness. And that's all the work. This was all the work. Yum, yum. Delicious.
Here's the pork shoulder. We cooked it about 2 3/4 of hours, and I cooked it in that baking bag. It's shredding on its own. We're gonna have some sandwiches with this today and then have another meal tomorrow, but it's a lot. We did cut it in slices. There is that garlic that baked inside of it. I don't know if you remember back when I told you that I was stuffing the garlics inside those slits. Yeah, so thank you for coming along with this meal prep and serving for us. Have a good one.